produit suffisamment de quoi nous nourrir. Nous pouvons dépasser même notre production. Malheureusement, par manque d'organisation, nous sommes encore obligés de tendre la main pour demander des aides alimentaires. Ces aides alimentaires qui nous bloquent, qui nous inspirent, qui installent dans nos esprits cette habitude, ces réflexes de mendiants. Nous devons mettre de côté ces aides par notre grande production. Il faut réussir à produire plus. Produire plus. Produire plus parce que il est normal que celui qui vous donne à manger vous dicte également ses volontés.
Francis Kéré was the first African architect to win the Pritzker Prize when he scooped the Nobel Prize of Architecture in 2022. A native of Gando, a small village in Burkina Faso's Central East region, Kéré was once criticized by his neighbors for building a school for the village before constructing a house for his parents. But that project has led to commissions, including the new Parliament building in Benin, the Goethe Institute Dakar, and the Las Vegas Museum of Art. I wanted to give something to my people, and that has given me an international career, he says of his decision to build the school.
I was born in a village called Gando in Burkina Faso. In my culture, everyone has to put his path to push the community forward. So I started to build a school. My very first building. I did a modern building that is not westernized and not traditional African building, to create a building that responds the best to the climate and to the need of the people, using the most available material. In this time it was clay. We tried to improve the quality of clay, adding some cement to make it attractive, to make it innovative, creating with those together a well-ventilated structure, which is working without any artificial or mechanic climate control. In the village, no one could build. What I had to do is to train the people to be part of the building process. Building with the labor of the community, I could do something big with less financial means, which is important for a project like this. It was a big success. We built this school in this time for 200 kids. But soon after, more kids wanted to attend education, so we had to build an extension. But we also needed to build housing for the teacher. One thing make another thing happen. So we started to build a lot in the village, and then people start to discover my work. People start to ask me to do the same for them. And so today, 2017, 16 years after building the first school, I have a team of maybe 200, 300 builder, welder, carpenter, bricklayer. So a lot of people just working in different building sites in Burkina Faso. This is incredible.
Today, Kéré is back in his home country to take on a project close to his heart, designing a mausoleum in Ouagadougou for Thomas Sankara, the great Pan-Africanist leader and former president of Burkina Faso. My God, what a project, what a challenge, Kéré recalls thinking when he first received the proposal. This is the first time I've been asked to take on the responsibility of constructing a building in memory of such a great figure. Sankara, often referred to as Africa's Che Guevara, was president of Burkina Faso from 1983 until 1987, and is credited with transforming the former French colony by waging war on corruption, championing education, health, and gender equality, and building homes, roads, and railways. He was assassinated at the age of 37 during a coup on 15 October 1987 by soldiers led by Sankara's former second-in-command, Blaise Compaoré, who remained in power for 27 years. The mausoleum in memory of Sankara and the 12 aides murdered alongside him is part of a larger project, the Thomas Sankara Memorial, conceived by Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traoré. Building the mausoleum is the first stage of the project.
Cette année, parce que nous ne souhaitons pas commémorer juste les droits de la femme, mais nous voulons que nos femmes soient autonomes. Nous voulons que nos femmes soient émancipées financièrement. Certes, un échantillon de femmes ont été choisis à travers le Burkina et ici dans la région pour apprendre des métiers en mesure de pouvoir subvenir à leurs besoins. Tout à l'heure, donc, je suis passé sous le hall et j'ai pu constater le savoir-faire acquis dans la fabrication de savon, qui d'ailleurs, j'instruisais le ministre à faire en sorte qu'elles aient les bons emballages et que désormais les commandes de nos institutions et de nos ministères soient donc les savons produits par les femmes burkinabées.
We don't want a place of death and a souff airing, but rather one full of vitality and life. Francis Kéré, Architecture, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can reach our goals of 400 subscribers this year. The 14-hectare, 35-acre site is envisioned as a place of life and gathering, according to Kéré. A green space where students can study, people can celebrate weddings, and visitors can discover the ideals of Sankara's revolution. After all, we want this to belong to the people, he says. The building where the attack took place is preserved at the heart of the memorial, surrounded by water, and the design includes an 87-meter-high tower to serve as an urban landmark for the Burkina capital, as well as an amphitheater, restaurants, and conference rooms. The first thing that strikes you as you enter the mausoleum is the cool breeze flowing through the space. It is all built with laterite and earth, which helps maintain a fresh interior, says civil engineer Nathaniel Sawadogo. Do you know Burkina Faso's traditional refrigerator? It's the same principle, but in a building, he adds. Traditionally, and still in some villages, water is cooled in clay jars made from the same type of earth, laterite, that was used to make the mausoleum's orange-hued bricks. These are cut directly from the ground, in this case, from the city of Kaya, 60 miles, 100 kilometers away. I want people to come in and wonder where the air conditioning is, only to realize there isn't any, says Kéré. That's my mission, to show that with traditional techniques, we can also stay cool. Again, guys, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can reach our goals of 400 subscribers this year. This is not the first time Kéré has used laterite in his buildings, as he aims to minimize cement usage, reduce transport costs, and ensure social benefits. If we extract the earth from a village, the villagers will benefit from the work, rather than a big company, he says. Mounds of laterite and limestone pepper the site, while workers race to complete the project. I want it to be simple, playing with shadows and light, says Kéré. The domed building has small openings, allowing light to filter in during the day and shine out at night, making it visible from the outside. Luc Damiba, Secretary General of the International Thomas Sankara Memorial Committee, says, "Visitors will enter from one side and exit from the other, like in Egyptian mausoleums." A transporter working on site tells Sawadogo, "The earth we're using isn't the same color as the other, you know?" Sawadogo thanks him for the observation and says, "Here, everyone has to learn something. He's a transporter, but now he also knows how to distinguish the type of earth we need." The laterite is analyzed in a laboratory to determine its consistency before being used. The mausoleum is oval, shaped like an eye. Inside, at the lower level, lie the bodies, still encased in concrete, of the 12 people killed with Sankara. The International Committee for the Thomas Sankara Memorial held a lottery to decide who would rest beside Sankara. "The only request I got was to make his tomb slightly larger," says Kéré, who feels proud to serve the memory of this great figure. After his death, Sankara's body was hurriedly buried in a mass grave in the Dagnoan neighborhood of Ouagadougou. It wasn't until 2014, during the popular uprising that toppled his successor, Compaoré, that his slogans began to echo in the streets again. And under Traoré, Sankara has been officially recognized as the first national hero of the country. Boulevard Charles de Gaulle has been renamed Thomas Sankara Boulevard, and his remains were exhumed and reburied in a more dignified space, Kéré, who is adamant that we don't want a place of death and suffering, but rather one full of vitality and life, remembers meeting Sankara when he came to speak to students in Fadangurma, the capital of Burkina Faso's eastern region. That day, my legs, hands, and heart were trembling. But I had to ask President Sankara what the revolution meant to him and what we, as young people, should do after finishing our studies, Kéré recalls.
I am from a village, and the architecture looked like that. You can see the structure. Grandpa, grandma, it is a big compound where everybody is living. And I cannot show it because I miss a pointer. You will see a little one, a big one. People are there together, generation for generation, and they really live peaceful. When they don't look to the West, when they don't look to the media, when they don't follow the information saying that we are poor. So you start to say, oh, I am poor. I need somebody to help me. So the architecture is like that. People just come together and start to build. And at the end, you have to protect the house against rain. And the color is beautiful, of course.
Who could have known 40 years later I would be building his place of rest? This is the power of architecture. This is what architecture can do. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can reach our goals of 400 subscribers this year.